Okay, we're going to go ahead and start with our notes with 2-6, ratios, rates, and conversions. So make sure you have your notes out and title the top of your notes with 2-6, ratio, rates, and conversions. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to write down the definition of ratio. So if you want to pause the video for a few seconds there to write that down, and then go ahead and restart it when you're ready. Okay, so now let's talk about what the ratio looks like. So the ratio of two numbers can be written in a couple ways. So if I want to write A and B as a ratio, so I could write A to B like this, or I can write A to B like this, or I can write just A to B. So there's a variety of ways there to go ahead and write a ratio. Alright, so again, make sure that you have those copied down onto your notes. Alright, so let's look at conversion units. A lot of times we take ratios and we convert them to units. You guys do this a lot in your science class. So some of you might already know how to do this. If so, I'll make it a lot easier. So let's first, what I do is I like to write it down. So I'll go ahead and write down 1,250 centimeters. Then I'm going to multiply it by the new fraction. And I always make sure, since this guy has centimeters, alright, I'm going to make sure that I put centimeters on the bottom since I had centimeters on the top. And if you want to, you can put it over 1. Some people like to do that. And then whatever I'm changing it to, meters, goes on top. The biggest out of the centimeters or meters gets a 1. So since meters is bigger than centimeters, that's a 1. There's 100 centimeters in 1 meter. And then all we have to do is multiply tops times tops, bottoms times bottoms. The centimeters, basically you have centimeters over centimeters, which cancels each other out or makes a 1. So tops times tops, I have 1,250 meters over 100. There's no more units on the bottom because centimeters canceled out. Reduce. So right now I have 125 meters over 10, which is 12.5 meters. Some of you might have learned it a little bit easier, just move the decimal 2 places. But nonetheless, that's how you do it using the conversion fraction. Okay, let's look at another example. Alright, we're going to convert 11 pounds to ounces. So first, write that down. Again, you can pause the video at any time that I talk too fast. And let's do 11 pounds. Put that over 1 times. Okay, pounds is going to go on the bottom. Ounces is going to go on top. Pounds is bigger, so he gets a 1. There are 16 ounces in 1 pound. So I'm going to make sure that my pounds cancel out, which they do. I'm going to multiply tops times tops, bottoms times bottoms. When you multiply it times 11, I get 176 ounces over 1, which is just 176 ounces. Okay. Alright, let's go ahead and go to. This time we're going to convert 6 hours and 45 minutes all to hours. So the 6 hours is already good. We got that part good. So to that we just need to add the 45 minutes and turn it into hours. So 45 minutes over 1 times fraction bar. Minutes is going to go on the bottom because again we want it to be catty corner, for lack of a better word there, of what we already had. And then hours will go on top. Hours is bigger, so he gets a 1. There's 60 minutes in an hour. Make sure that the minutes cancel out, which they do because one's on top, one's on bottom. Multiply straight across, and I get 45 hours over 60. We reduce. They both have 15 in common. So that leaves me with 3/4. So 6 hours and 45 minutes is 6 hours and 3/4 hours. And again, there was kind of a thinking way to do that too, if you thought about it on a clock, that this being 12, this being a 3, a 6, and a 9, and 45 minutes being 3/4 of the circle. That would have been another way to get it without having to have the conversion fraction, but the conversion fraction always works. Alright, the last one, these are the directions that are on your assignment, so they're kind of a little bit vague, but I wanted to make sure that you understood how to do the assignment the way the book had the instructions. It says copy and complete each statement, and again, this is very similar to what you do in the science class. This is how I do it. So I write 60 feet, and then I go ahead and make it over 1 second. Okay, because this is 60 feet per second, which means 60 feet over 1 second, times my new fraction bar. And you can only do one at a time. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fix feet. Alright, so we're going to fix feet first. There is 3,280.8 feet in 1 kilometer. We'll have a conversion table, or I'll tell you what they are on the test. That's not something I expect you to memorize. So let me make sure that the feet cross out. So far you can look and you can see that I have kilometers per second. I don't want to have per second, I want to have per hour. So I'm going to need another fraction bar. Seconds are going to go on top because my current seconds that I have are on the bottom. So you can see this seconds is on the bottom, this seconds is on the top. So I want to be able to have one on the top, one on the bottom to make them cancel out to make a 1. So on the bottom I want to have hours because I have seconds on top. Okay? For every 1 hour, there's 3,600 seconds. So now we're going to multiply straight across. I'm going to take 60 times 3,600, and then I'm going to take 3,280.8 times 1 and times 1. So clearly on the bottom we'll have 3,280.8. And then on the top we have 21,600. So we have 216,000 on the top. So we're going to reduce that since we have a decimal. I'm just going to take 216,000 divided by 3280.8, and I get approximately, so I'm going to make the little squiggle so it says approximately 65.8 kilometers per hour. Okay? So that'll be how we'll do problems like that, going through one at a time. So if you want to, you're welcome to rewatch the video, or you can go ahead and try the practice problems on My Big Campus. We also will have centers in class tomorrow to go over this. Thanks.